We're thinking about the past, and you go back to the past, things that have happened to you in the past, whatever experience you've had in the past, I guarantee you that when you go back to that experience, you're going back to that emotion, because that emotion is attached to that experience. You can't go back to the experience and not also get involved in the emotion. It may make you cry again. It may make you laugh again. It may make you rejoice. The emotion built around that experience. But I guarantee you that every experience have an emotion, or it's not an experience, because it would not be registered in our brain. What registers an experience in our brain is the fact that there's an emotion attached to it. And our brain can remember it as a memory. So we go back to the experience, we go back to the emotion. Now, since that's true, it means that if we're going to create an experience that we have something, that we have it, it's got to be so vivid that there is an emotion being created with that experience so that it registered on our brain as a memory. Because if our brain remember it and the emotion attached to it, it means that we're going to manifest it because it's a part of our thinking, it's a part of our process. Does that make sense? So then, whatever you desire in your heart, God is not going to put a desire in your heart. God wants you to desire what you want. God not going to limit you. There is no limitation in what we can get. For example, let's take Elder Joe Green. He's a realtor. Let's say he wanted to enhance his business. He wanted to do, say, $1 million worth of business this month, or $2 million worth of business this month. If Joe Green created, based upon this verse, if he created and can see himself with that, God said he can have it. That means his business is not built upon how hard he works. His business is built upon his thought and his thinking. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. See, so the minute Joe said, I want to do $10 million over the next 6 months, it may seem unrealistic to somebody else, but it would not be unrealistic to him if he used this verse. If he can see himself with it, God said he'll have it. That's what the verse says. Read the verse again. Mark 11:24. That's your blessing right in there. Go ahead.
Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them.
Simple. If you can believe you have it, God said you will have it. And God is basing it upon human anatomy. God is basing it upon physiology. Yeah. God is basing it upon things that is natural in the field of science, because God knows how our bodies operate. Our bodies will respond chemically because our body produces emotions. So our body will respond chemically to that emotion. What you mean by that? Well, let's look at something as simple as fight or flight. If I saw a tiger coming into that door, and it was coming down this aisle towards me, and I see the tiger, my body chemically will change. My mind, my brain will immediately secrete cortisol and adrenaline. adrenaline will put sugar in my blood to give me energy to run. Call that flight. And these are all automatic. It's just the way my body responds, your body responds. So there's nothing magic about it. God just broke it down and said, hey, if you can believe you got it, you can have it. And you say, how do I do that, God? God said, well, create the experience and build emotion around it where your brain will believe you already have it. Simple. But we get bogged down at trying to figure out human anatomy. We're not anatomists. We're not scientists. We're not doctors. We're not in the field of medicine where we feel we need to know human anatomy. But that's the material aspects of who we are. We're both immaterial and material. The immaterial us, you don't see. That's soul and spirit. The material part of us, you see. That's my body. But we got to deal with the body. So we got to deal with the body. We can't leave the body out because the body is a part of the total picture. So our body is going to react automatically. Okay? Now, Joe could go home and get on a timeline, and Joe could say, I'm going to project on my little timeline that I'm going to sell 2 houses per month. And at the end of the year, I would have sold 24 houses. And I'm going to put that on my timeline. Joe could do that. But with this, when Joe do this, he's not on a timeline. He is collapsing space and time. And when you collapse space and time, you get into the spirit. The spirit don't operate in time. The spirit operates right now. See, so Joe created what? Right now. So where he would normally, the way the world think, I get on my timeline, and each month, that's going to be my objective. Well, at the end of the year, Joe may reach that. But why wait to sell 24 houses in a year when you can sell 24 houses in a week? If you can collapse times and space, where you're not dealing with time and space, you're dealing with the spirit. The spirit is not in time. Okay, so you're confused. Forget it. We said Green got it. Okay, all right, okay. See, Ephesians 1 and 3. Oh, the new minister. Find it, new minister. You're the ordained minister in the house. Give us Ephesians 1 3. 1 3. Did everybody get it? Did everybody go there? Did everybody go there? Or some people looking at me? Did everybody go there? Put your eyes on that verse. Ephesians 1 3. Read it again, Brother Hamilton, Minister Hamilton.
Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ.
See, understand, God have already blessed you. God is not going to bless you again. He has already done it. He has blessed you. Now, verse 11 and 24 simply tells us how to get the blessing. God said you can't get it if you don't believe you already have it. So the trick is believing you have it. How do you believe you have it? By creating it. You can't fool your mind. I mean, you can't tell your body, oh, I got it, I got it, I got it. Your mind say you're crazy, you ain't got a thing. You can't fool your mind. So you actually got to actually create it. Create what? Whatever you want. But Joe would be what? Selling $1 million worth of house a month. Now, nobody in Charleston may be selling it that much, but Joe can sell it. Because he ain't got to know where it's coming from. Now, y'all got it? See, we don't have to know where the money's coming from. You never have to know that. God can send somebody to knock on your door and give you $1 million, don't even know you. If you can believe that. I know y'all will stay at the door too. Y'all put a chair by that door. When you coming? Waiting on you. Okay, I'm going to pause right there and see if we have any questions before we go any further. I don't want to go too fast because this is it for you. Mark 11:24, that's it for you. All your blessings are tied up in that one concept, and that is having it before you see it. Having it before you see it. In other words, claiming something to be yours before you see it. If you can claim it, then you know you own it. If you can claim it. If you can claim that experience, there's no reason why Christians have to be broke or should be broke. There's no reason why Christians should not have the abundant life. Because Jesus said, I've come that you may have life and to have it more abundantly. There should not be a broke Christian. No. We're not beggars. We're lenders, not borrowers. So we ought to put ourselves in a position to give every Christian. We'll pull testimony when we're broke. Pull testimony. Somebody say, oh, the Lord want us to be broke. You stop relying on God. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, it's the Lord thy God that gives you power to get wealth. So why you lying that God wants you to be poor? God wants you to be wealthy. Independently wealthy, where you're not depending on nobody but him. Okay. So the floor is open. Yes, ma'am. Well, if you create an experience, that means you can't have the emotion which you need without the experience. So what you need is an elevated emotion, but you need a visual, a real precise of what you want. The way you do that is we say, let's use VAC, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. What do we mean? We need to see it, okay? We need to hear something around it, put sound around it, and we need to be able to feel it. Now, where you could create that, where you've given it color, the dress you're wearing, the blouse you're wearing, the suit you're wearing, the tie you're wearing, when you begin to give color to something, you're giving it more emotions because you're able to visualize it in such a way that is so real that the emotion will be attached to it because you've given it internal reality, because you're building it in the inside, not on the outside. It will manifest on the outside, but you're building it on the inside. So you're giving it internal reality. You're making it real, because then it would resonate on the same frequency as your desire. And when it raises that desire, boom, it manifests. So VAC, see it, hear it. If you were, say, thinking about wanting a 10-room house, well, first of all, I would look at on a blueprint. I would see a blueprint of that 10-room. And then I would see the physical construction. I would go into every room, see what color wallpaper you want, what painting you want. I would give it attraction. I would give it all the visualization to make it as vivid as possible. I would go into the kitchen. Imagine myself sitting down in the kitchen, perhaps eating in the kitchen, hearing someone, a husband, a wife, a friend say, "Ooh, girl, this is a beautiful home. My God, how do you do this? Ooh, it's nice." Here's something. Now you got sight, you got sound. Got it? Now you're hearing something, you're feeling good about yourself, because look what God has given you. A 10,000 square foot home. 3 levels and an elevator to get up there, so you ain't got to walk up the step. But you have to, in detail, see everything, hear everything. Now, that kind of experience, once it's created, you're going to get emotionally about it, because you're going to look at it and go through it. I mean, you're going to call your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunt. "Oh, come on over. I'm having a cookout." You want everybody to see house. They may not swim. They ain't going to look at your pool. "Girl, this is a bad-looking pool here." Everything. Detail. That's how we create the experience. That's how the emotion is created, built on the experience, because when the brain writes it, what the brain will do, have neurons. And these neurons are electrical charges in our brain. And they come together, circuit. And the ones that come together fire together. And as they fire together, they develop neurological tracks. And these tracks in your brain become the memory that you need for the emotion that's been created to manifest your blessing. That's all it is. So it is as simple as that. Anybody say, we don't have to make it complicated, because it's not. It's not. The only thing complicated about it, if you were to make it complicated, is being able to use your imagination to create what you want, or to know for sure what you want. Because most time, people don't know what they want, they know what they don't want. But at this, you got to know what you want. Now, it's good. The Bible, I guess, a part of understanding kingdom principles. One of the principles of the kingdom is unity. That means being united. If you're married, you ought to be united. Because if you got someone pulling you back, you ain't going too far, because you're around a negative energy all the time. And that negative energy will neutralize your positive energy, where your energy will not be strong enough. Now, you may say to me, "I don't see how that can be." Well, when Jesus went to Jared's house. Matter of fact, the preacher preached that on not too long ago, on Father's Day, about Jared. I think his title might have been The Love of His Daughter or something. But Jesus goes to the house to raise Jared's daughter from the dead, the girl that died. People in the house all having all the negative emotions. Jesus, wait a minute. I can't do nothing with all this. I want everybody out the house except the mama, the daddy, and 2 disciples. The rest of you go. Why you put them out, Jesus? Because I can't do nothing with all this negative energy. Now y'all look at me, that ain't happened. Yeah. Greg, do you know what text you were in that day? Luke what? Luke 5:23? Somebody go to Luke. Luke, get to Luke. Because y'all look at me like I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. Karen will get it quick. Karen, you got it? What you got? What you got?
Whether it's easier to say. That's what I was asking that he said 23.
What? Oh.
But when Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answering said unto them, what reason ye in your hearts? That's Luke. You said Luke.
I don't know. Look at me.
Okay, let me find it. And this is Sunday's message?
No, it was Father's Day.
Father's Day was
The message was not about Jesus doing this, but
it was Mark 5 and 23.
okay, Mark 5 and 23.
Yeah, I think it was Mark.
Okay, what you got in Mark 23? I want to go to Jared's house.
Okay, so, and besought him greatly, saying, my little daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee,
Okay,
come and lay thy hands on her,
okay,
that she may be healed, and she shall live.
okay. Go ahead, read on.
And Jesus went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him. And a certain woman which had the issue of
Okay, get on issue, but everybody preach that. Go on.
no, you said
Yeah, but we'll go on. Skip that. Everybody, ain't nobody got to go on. I want to get in Jared's house right now.
and he said unto her 40th,
Read it.
okay, and the 40th says,
The 40th verse said what?
and they laughed him to scorn, but when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel.
Now, everybody got it? When he put them all out, that means everybody in the house, he put out of the house. Except the mother and the father, right?
Yes, and the damsel,
Okay.
and them that were with him.
That's disciples. Everybody else about the house. What I'm saying is that it's hard to be around negative people when you're trying to be positive. Hard. Very hard. Because they're the dream snatchers. They snatch your dream. I call them vigilantes. You know, you come to them and you share something, and then the first one, oh, you can't have that. God ain't going to do that. They don't know what God's going to do. God doesn't really want to do. But they're dream snatchers. Well, y'all got the point? You got the point. So it's better to get your husband and your wife on the same level where you have unity, because a house divided can't stand. You got it? Okay, so you can have an individual divided house yourself personally by saying something you want and then coming back and saying you don't want it. Double-mindedness. You got it. You want it or don't want it. Your mind ain't made up. So that means there's no union within yourself. You're not united. But it can also be with husband and wives. Don't have to be united. It becomes difficult. It could work. You might have to go in the bathroom and shut the door, and stay in the bathroom all the time to make it work. He ain't gonna come bother you, or she ain't gonna come bother you because you're in the bathroom with negativity. But this will work if you create it to make it work. Because if you get up in the morning and go back to a bad experience that happened to you last year, 5 years ago, and you get up in the morning and you go back to that experience, what you're actually doing is going back to that emotion, because every experience have an emotion. Once you get in that emotion, believe it or not, you are reliving that experience. How are you reliving it? You're living in the emotion. That means you're reliving the experience. Now you got a sad day, because if that experience was bad, your whole day is bad, because you have brought in to your day something so negative, okay, that it will haunt you, because now that memory, that emotion, you're caught up in that emotion. If that makes sense to anybody? So you're caught up in that emotion. So then, if you took Mark 11:24, where God says you can have any and everything that you can believe that you do have. If you can believe you have it, God said, guess what? You can have it. That's like giving you a blank check. Yeah, it's like you're giving you a blank check and say, write what you want. I can't see nobody not accepting that. A blank check. But he says, the key here. Now, I remember I passed out something a while back that your body is controlled by your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Your conscious mind represents about 5% of who you are. Your subconscious mind represents 95% of who you are. That means that your daily activity is actually coming from your subconscious mind, where your belief system is operating, because your belief creates your reality. So what you believe is going to create what you see, because you believe it. Because beliefs are conclusions. You can't go beyond a belief. Now, I passed out something that your body or your subconscious is not objective. It is subjective. And because it's subjective, is not going to evaluate or pass judgment on what goes down into it. If the belief system is there, it's going to carry it out, because that's what you believe. Remember that? Okay? Y'all remember that? You want to? Okay. Now, no, sister, that's not it. But that's a good one. Oh, let me see. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. You tell you from Jacksonboro too. That's a good one. What I want is that because it is subjective, it does not know whether an experience is real. You got it right. Whether that experience is actual experience or that experience has been fabricated by you because the emotion is the same. See, your body don't know. As I mentioned before, you could have a bad dream. And your body actually believes that dream is going on. I mean, you wake up in a cold sweat because your body actually believes it's going through it. Either you're running from something or you see a lot of snakes. Everybody say snakes is your enemy. You see a lot of snakes dabbing at you. But whatever it is, your body perceives it as real because your body is different. What happens is that your brain secrete hormones, adrenaline, cortisol to get into your blood system through the what? Lymphatical system, the lymph node, carry right straight to all the part of your body. When those lymph nodes are carrying those hormones as adrenaline or cortisol, it cuts off, for example, the immune system because now the blood that would normally go into the immune system is ceased. The blood is now in your arm, in your legs to give you the ability to run or fight. So that's to fight or flight. Either run from it or be able to fight it. Okay? Because that's where your blood is. Okay? Now, your immune system is closed off because that's where your blood is. Now, what's added is adrenaline adds sugar to your blood. So if you are a diabetic, you're about to have a dump of sugar, glucose, dump into your blood system. Bad. Okay? But the sugar is there to give you energy to run. Because if it's a tiger, get your hat, get your coat, leave your worries on the doorstep. You better get to getting. Now, guess what? It don't have to really be a tiger. If your mind says it is, and you perceive it to be real, your body is going to act as if it is real. Because your body can't make that distinction between reality and what's not real, because your body is simply going to do what? Be based upon emotions. And emotions are going to be created automatically because of fight or flight. Uh-oh. I don't think you're with me. I ain't talking to him myself over there. Over there? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's real. Yeah. And you try to get out the way. You got out the way. Now, to most people would say, oh, that's a dream. To your body, it ain't a dream. I'm telling you now. Your body's reacting, that ain't a dream. Okay? If y'all know what I'm talking about. So I can see you on the floor. Yeah, I can see you on the floor. Yeah, I don't know, you got on the floor trying to run. You put or crawl out that room trying to get out there. But what it is that your body and your subconscious, which controls your body, does not know the difference between an emotion created by an actual experience or an emotion created by you fabricating it. That means if you could fabricate, create an experience so profound that you can have emotion attached to it, what this verse says, you can have that which you desire. But you got to believe you first have it. At least I got an amen. Sister, what's your name? Yes, I got an amen out of you. Joanne, but thank you, Joanne. I needed that. I needed that. Thank you. Give me another one later, okay? Don't forsake me. Give me another one. Okay, now, so how would you now create an experience? Who want to give me one? How they will create an experience? Anybody? Oh, God. You want to create an experience? Tell me. Okay. How would you create one? Oh, no, don't fall out the bed like no, please. Uh, Running? Okay. What? Okay, see, I can't. This is your first night? Okay. These are old timers. So these old timers here should know. The moment I say, what I mean by creating experience, they ought to say VAC, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, pick it together. They know what I want, but no, they figure they're going to boycott me tonight. They protesting. We ain't going to say nothing. We're going to just sit here. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, I'm going to pick on somebody then. Somebody going to create an experience for me. Oh, okay. It was real? Okay. Wow.
But I believe when you said it, I sat here, I came back to the house, and I told my husband, he said, that's quick. You already came back, you had your root canal already? I said, no, God healed me. I have to have nothing done. I said, I got to call Apostle. He said, oh, leave that man alone. He can wait till Sunday.
Wow.
That's why when Sister Grice was saying, or when she finished her story, I'll talk to you. I wanted to tell you because I knew before I even got there, I had already put it in my mind. I wasn't going to have a root canal. And the other dentist, my periodontist, called me 2 days later and said, well, I don't know what happened. I said, God healed me.
Yeah. Because your body is operating based upon our teaching. Because when the doctor told Marge, really, I was about gone. They're gonna put me on the ventilator, and to keep me alive for a while. And and 10 minutes later, he checked me out, came back to mine and said, no, he don't need no ventilator, he's okay. That quick, the body was healing. Yeah, that quick. 10 minutes ago, they were on the ventilator. In other words, carry me out of here. Okay? So when you understand what you need to understand and stand on what you do understand, because remember, we had just got through dealing with I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I'm wise. Your body was programmed to believe what you were saying about being healthy, meaning that your body began to move towards health as my injury began to move towards its healing, because I was bleeding on the brain. That dried up. Well, I could go through my thing. Wait a minute. All right, let's, who else? Give me another one. Somebody else. Thank you.
I'm trying to figure out how to, because I don't need a campaign for my tongue and all that stuff. And I will pay off the one I got. That's my thing. So that's my heart's desire, to get my mortgage paid off so I can retire.
Girl, you got it.
My desire for the longest, and I just keep saying to God, I don't know how you, because you're going to have to do it, because I had just refinanced a couple of years ago to get some work done to the house. So now, of course, that drove me back some years. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be almost 90 before I finish paying off this house if I go the way I'm going. But I'm just trying to, figure out, what do I do to get that accomplished?
Okay, create the experience. Here again. Let's go back to Mark 11. Let's just go back there.
I tell everybody, they come in here at work and they say, you so I said, I just want my mortgage paid. I said, y'all pay the lottery, y'all win. Please pay my mortgage off. I mean, they know me so well. Why now, man? Kid, he said, Michelle. He said, I'm going to pay the lottery. He said, if I win, he said, I'm going to retire. He said, and I'm not supposed to get either. I'm not supposed to get none. He said, I mean it, Michelle. If I win, he said, I'm retired. I really believe it.
Whoa, people, the way we stay alive and the way we survive is through the blessings, through the knowledge of God. If we can embrace the knowledge of God and believe what we are embracing, you will see miracles in your life, because miracles are waiting on us. It ain't that they ain't waiting. Miracles are waiting to break loose, but we got to know how to break the miracle loose. And this is why we start here at Mark 11:24, because if we can stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, we can be a blessing to the world. You see, but we get so heavenly minded that we're earthly no good, and we're just waiting on the rapture, and broken, starving, half to death out here don't make a bit of sense to me. Because he said, occupy until I come. You can't occupy broke, sick up. You got it? Okay? So he wants us to occupy till he comes. Occupy as the head, not the tail. Occupy going over, not under. That's how we occupy. We occupy because we put the church in a financial position where it can bless people. Y'all got it? That's the mission. He said he became broke, poor, that through his poverty we might become rich. So he left heaven, left glory. Being in the form of God, he counted it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself from no reputation and took on the form of a servant in the likeness of a man. We call it kenosis. Empty himself. He said he became poor that through his poverty we might become rich. So if he didn't come here for no other person, but to save us, give us eternal life, and put money in our pocket, and put health in our body, because by his stripes we are healed. We're not going to be healed. He said we are healed. So how we going to do both? You got it? So we got to understand this Bible and begin to live in it and walk in it. But we have played church so long that we have a form of godliness, but we deny the real power of God. You got it? No, I ain't going to preach. I'm here to teach. Don't get me started. Now, read Mark 11:24 again. Got to read it.
Therefore, I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that.
Hold it. Believe what? Believe that you have received it. See, believe that you have already received it. Whatever you're praying for, believe that you already got it. See, believe you got it. You claiming it. It's yours. It belongs to you. Believe you got it. And if you can believe you have it, go ahead, Georgia. And you shall have them. Have what? Whatever you say you believe, you got. So that the experience is believing that you got it. Now, what's so difficult about it? Now, if you didn't have a system, I could see you sitting there saying, well, what do we do? We have a system. What is a system? Let's vac it. Say the word vac it. Vac it. Give it visual. Give it auditory. Give it kinesthetic. Give it gustatorial. Give it whatever you need to give it to make it real. What you got to do is make it so real that that experience will create its own emotion. And the minute that experience creates its own emotion, it means that the brain is recording it. Everything new that we learned, the brain records it as a memory. Now you got a memory of a 10,000 square foot house lodged in your mind. If it's there, what's going to happen? You now believe it is going to happen for you. That's all this verse says. Okay. Step by step. Wait a minute. Mark, come on. You want to do it. Stand up here and give us step by step. Oh, yeah, what we do. Come on. Just go. Leave the little preacher alone. Leave the instigator alone. Come on up.
Just as far as vision, you're talking as far as creating a desire?
Well, we could do right on the board, MODALITIES. We can use modalities. Now, if you put in the front of that word, SUB, sub, you can also use sub-modalities to get what you want. Let me give you a good example. If I ask Mark to, well, okay, I can use Mark as an example. Let's say Mark went out last night and he came home at 1. His wife waiting on him. Huh? With a bat. I better use you then. No. you may get hurt tonight.
I'm just kidding.
And Mark get home after 12 with his wife sitting in there in a chair. And she say, Mark, where you been? And Mark said, oh, I was out with some friends, some brothers I knew from school. We sat down, we just chat. And his wife looked at him as he's talking, and his eyes goes up to the left. If his eyes go up to the left, that means he's creating a lie. He don't know his wife know that. But she knows what they call eye acuity. So she said, where, Mark? Boy, you better tell the truth. Yeah, I went out with the boys, but we would just drink a little bit and party a little bit, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I did see her too, yeah, but I ain't done nothing. I don't know. Then I go back up again to the left. You're going to need a baseball bat by the time you get home. That's what you call submodality. So we see something visual. Either we're creating, if we go up to the left, we know we're creating it. If eyes go up to the right, we're remembering it. If his eyes went up to the right, he would have been remembering the truth with him and the boys. But by trying to create something to keep from being hit with the bat, his eyes went up to the left. Okay? Now that you're in trouble. Hello? Okay, it's okay. We were just, okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Believe me, okay. We had a grid. Remember the grid? The grid was like a tic-tac-toe board. Draw a grid on the board. It's like a tic-tac-toe board. Now, it's a grid, but let's say how the grid would work. This is how it would work. Joe Green would think of something last year, 2 years, 5 years ago that happened to him. And Joe would think about it, and Joe would visualize it, what happened to him. Something good happened, and Joe loved it. He saw himself 5 years ago, enjoying it. It's a memory. So it wasn't hard for him to do that, to look back at it, to see himself in it. Then Job would close his eyes, and Job would go to a grid and move that experience up on a grid. And wherever that hand stopped on the grid would actually be a place of memory. Now, Joe don't know it. His eyes is closed, and he's simply moving a memory on a grid. But what he don't know is that memory that he is moving is going to a place where memories are large. Memories are there. Now, he don't know it, but it's going to the hippocampus region of his brain where all memories are large. That's where it's going. But he doesn't know that. He's just closing his eyes, and he imagined the grid, and he's moving on the grid. Now, what Joe do? Now, he's going to create an experience. That was actually an experience in his life. Now, he's going to create one. He's going to see himself selling $10 million worth of houses. He's going to see himself all through Charleston, and the houses he is selling are $1 million houses and $5 million houses. So he's now in that bracket. He's going to see himself talking to people who are trying to sell their house. And Joe is convincing them that he can sell it. Joe has created just an experience. That's all he's doing it. Okay? But he's going to take that experience he has created, and he's going to be so excited about that experience, that emotion. He's going to close his eyes again, and he's going to move that experience he just created on that grid. And where that hand stop at on the grid is going to actually be the place of memory where memories are kept. He's going to plug that in as a memory. So now Joe is what? He knows where his memories are because he memorized something that he had already placed. Now he's placing a new memory in the same place. So now he know that what he just created is not random. It's actually going to a place of memory. Where's that place? It's in his brain. It's in the region of his brain. He have dislodged it in. He's through with it. Joe ain't got nothing else to do. Now, what happens is that memory, that brain is creating neurological tracks. Okay? Those neurons that have come together, that are firing together, those neurons and synapses are coming together but creating within itself those neurological tracks in his brain. He now have an experience in his brain. Guess what? His body now began to build up from that experience. So that experience now is going to be created because now it's going to resonate on a certain frequency. And when it resonates on a certain frequency, because now it's an internal reality, it will now become a physical reality because it will resonate now with the desire that's waiting that God said, I've already blessed you with. That's waiting. It will resonate. Okay. Cheryl, did that answer for you too? Pretty much. Okay. 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 Let's go to Cheryl. See, it's so easy with houses. It's so easy, Joe, to sell houses. Make a fortune selling houses. Now, Cheryl, all you need to do, go back in your mind and think about an experience that you had that was so profound, that made you so happy, that every time you go back, you get emotionally charged in it. Okay? And you take that, go up on your grid, close your eyes, move it across the grid, until your hands stop. Wherever your hands stop, that means that's where the memory are. Because you what? You got a memory, right? So now you're taking on the chart. What you're finding is that spot on your brain where the memories are. You stop right there. Now, you need to create another experience. Either you're coming into a great deal of money, and if that's the experience you create, don't worry where the money is coming from. Just see yourself with the money. See yourself perhaps giving you the money. Okay? Create an experience around that money. Now, if you can get happy around that money and the way you create it, what will happen is you will get an emotion around that. If you can't get happy about it, it's not an experience. If you can get an emotion about it, you got an experience. The way we know we got an experience is because we got an emotion attached to it. If you can't get emotionally attached to the experience, you don't have experience. What you have done, you have created an experience, but you have a dissociation. You need an association. Remember the cycle? Remember the what? Roller coaster? If you just look at yourself on the roller coaster, you can see yourself, but you disattach to it. You disassociate with it. But if you see yourself sitting in it, you done what? Associate with it. So what Cheryl got to do is be sure that she's associating with that experience she is creating so that she can what? Establish emotions behind it. But the brain will do the rest, Cheryl. All you've got to do is create the experience so profound. When you do it, see yourself with it. See yourself dressed with clothes you got on. Hear what the person says to you, that bringing it to you, if that's the way you're going to get it, whatever way you're going to get it, you'll make whatever way you want to find it, whatever way you create it is the way you're going to get it. You can find it on the side of the road where some drug dealer threw out the car because there was a cop road check down there, and he didn't want to have a bag full of money, so he threw it out the window. I used to go around McCormick Drive thinking that my boy was going to throw his own out, Dottie. I thought maybe Grice would throw his out the window, and I picked that up because they used to do roadblock all the time around Walterboro. But anyway, but did you get that, Cheryl? The thing is, visualize, hear it, okay, feel it. See, one thing about the brain, if you took somebody that you like and you close your eyes and move your hand to where that person would be and open your eyes, that person would be right close to you. If you find a person that you don't like, close your eyes and move your hand, you will find out that that person will be a little further away from you. It's like a person that loved chocolate cake. Okay? The reason they love, well, no, let's take ice cream, is because ice cream stays on their mind on the forefront. And so they're always thinking about ice cream. See? So anytime they can buy gallons, they will, because they're thinking about ice cream, because that's where their mind at. Now, if they don't want to eat no more ice cream, they take that mind, okay, and move it somewhere else, to the back, not to the front or the frontal lobe, but to the back someplace. that means they'll stop eating ice cream. But you'd have a fire in your hand if you try to get Elder Green to stop eating ice cream. You'd have a fire in your hand. Sister Green know that. Have a fire in your hand. Did you get that, Cheryl? Yeah, just practice. Yeah. Oh no, this gonna give you. Don't sell yourself cheap. Go ahead, go a cool million. Yeah, go for a cool million. Don't sell yourself cheap, because God said we can have the desire of our heart. So don't sell yourself cheap. No, yeah, get what you want. Yeah, go 2 Corinthians for me and find 2 Corinthians 8th chapter. What is it? 8 and 9. Find that for me. 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. Yeah, we're going to have to close out. The reason I want you to read that is because Jesus did not come down here just to save you, to take you to heaven. He had a greater mission than just to save you, take you to heaven. He came for something else. Okay, Mark, read that for me. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sake he became poor, that you through his poverty might be rich. Do y'all get it? So he came here. He came from heaven to get you to be rich. He came from heaven. He emptied himself, being in the form of God. He counted it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation. In other words, he emptied himself not of his essence, because he would always be God, but he emptied himself of his glory, became poor. He said, the birds of the air have a nest, the fox have a hole, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. He would go in the woods and sleep. He ain't had a bed. He became poor. Then you become rich. So what's the problem here? He didn't come here to save you. He came here to bless you. He came here to make you rich. Good God. He became poor that through his poverty you may become rich. Rich is rich. Did anybody get that? Yeah, we think salvation is the end. Salvation is the beginning. Salvation ain't the end when you get saved. Ain't the end. Your getting saved is the beginning. Beginning of what? Of a new life. A life far beyond sickness and poverty. But then he said, oh, but the poor will always be with you. Why is that, Jesus? Because some folks will always think poor. They want to be poor, so they think poor. Huh? Okay. Any questions before we close out? Now, let me ask you a question. Did anyone did not get how to do this tonight? Yes, ma'am. Oh, you didn't get it? Well, oh, please do. Yeah.
to help her to rise up.
Yeah.
When he went to put the pillow under her, she said, "No, I want to rise up."
Yeah.
Her spirit, and now I understand, her spirit wanted to hear the encouraging word about Jesus.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm trying to think, who was it Isaiah wanted to speak to? Hezekiah. People coming in to see Hezekiah. Hezekiah, the Bible says he turned his back to the wall. You know, sometimes you don't need everybody over you. You don't need anybody over you. You need the right people over you. Because the wrong people could put you in your grave. With them moaning and groaning, they'll put you in your grave. Yeah. Because they're not going in there with positive, you know, a positive attitude of elevation where you can resonate on that note and get up there on that plane. They go there and they bring you down. You know, oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. See, people, it's the aura. There is etheric energy around us that extend about 5 feet. Some people call it an aura because it has a color to it if you have an aura machine to pick it up. But that energy around us, we all got it. And the energy, people get sick in the energy before it gets to the body. So if they can hold it up through the energy, so if you don't have everybody in your energy field, you got it? Keep people out of your energy field. If you can do that, you can make it. Everybody understand that? Yeah, keep them out your energy field. Because they bring their negative energy to dilute your positive energy. And that's where the wrestling began. So if you can keep them out, because the Bible tells us how. The Bible said every spirit is not of me. Try the spirit. So you try the spirit in the spiritual world, which is that 5 feet around you. Try the spirit, because you ought to be able to pick up in the spirit people who come around you. If you can't pick up, you better go and start praying, because you don't know who in your zone or in your space. Okay, so you ought to. That's what I said. Try the spirit with the spirit, because every spirit is not of me. They could come in, oh, praise the Lord, child. Oh, hickabahaya, get off in tongues on you and still be the biggest devil in town. Yeah. So he said, try the spirit with the spirit. And that is in that aura. We have that ability. People come around you, you ought to be able to sense them. Yeah, this guy ain't right. She ain't right. This dangerous. Yeah, you ought to be able to sense that. Yeah. Okay, through with that. Take up the offering. Minister Hamilton? No, that's okay. The elder got it. No, the elder, you got it. Go ahead, elder. You got it. We'll train this novice. Yeah, we'll train this novice. Sister Adam, you're sitting quiet back there. Do you have it? All right. Now, did everybody get it? Practice it. That's all. It's new to you. Practice it. Just go ahead and begin to create it. Practice it. It'll work for you. It'll work. Just know that God don't want you to be broke. Just know that. Okay, so I'll tell you what I want everybody to do next week. Bring me an experience. Write it out. Then I know you know.
Write it out. I got you. Yes, sir.
Well, if you don't want to write it, I know who will write it for you. Do a little instigator write it for you. You'll write it, okay. Write it out what you want. And what I want to do is look at it and see what I could do to help you to get there. Okay? You write it out. And then I want to be able to put it in my spirit, see how I can help you get there. The whole idea is getting you there. Because once you get there, you're there. See, once you get there, you're there. All you have to do is wait for the manifestation, which is the resonating with your desire, okay? So do that, and you don't have to go to a computer. You don't have to go through, write out if you want to. Your writing can't be no bad, worse than mine. My wife said my writing is so bad, nobody can read it but me. I call it hieroglyphics. So don't worry about write it out. We'll figure it out, okay? All right. Let us stand, and elders going to bless the offering.
Give God a hand praise. Lord, we thank you for this offering, Lord. We thank you that you're using it for the upbuilding of your kingdom, Lord. Keep blessing us, Lord, so we can keep pouring into the ministry,